So what you see behind is CCD, that is Cafe Coffee Day. And you might see investors being pitched by startup founders here for raising their startup funds. But guess what? This is another CCD that is in my hand. And trust me, this is far superior for startup founders than anything else, because this is essentially the legal instrument through which this fundraising transaction can happen for early stage startup founders. Now, for people who are completely unaware about this thing called CCD, I'm assuming all of you have seen Shark Tank India, and you've seen sharks asking for a percentage of the company or the founders in return for a specific sum of money. Now, what they're doing essentially here is that they're asking for the shares of the company, and this transaction legally is what we call as an equity transaction. But this thing, which is the CCD, that's a compulsory convertible debenture, this is not a complete equity instrument. This is a hybrid instrument which initiates as debt and eventually converts into equity. And now let's just take a very simple example to understand this even better. Assume there's a company called XYZ Private Limited that is looking to raise 1,000 rupees. They approach me and I, as an angel investor, give them rupees 1,000. They in return give me CCDs. Now, at this very stage, what happens essentially is that I do not come on the cap table of the company. I do not become the shareholder of the company. I do not get any control despite giving money. And this is the advantage for the founders through a CCD. But guess what? I am also an investor and I'm looking for an advantage. I'm looking for money back, right? So whatever money that I've invested, in this case, 1,000 rupees, at this moment, it will be treated as debt for the company. But now, once the company starts to grow and they're looking for more funds, they're looking for an equity round, let's say for rupees 1 lakh. At this very stage, when they're looking to raise 1 lakh rupees in terms of equity, my conversion will happen. And I will not just get equity at this stage, I will get equity at a discount. Now, for example, at the stage of conversion, if the value of one share of the company is rupees 100, I will get it at 70 or 80 rupees. And that is where I get my advantage. So overall, a CCD is a great legal instrument for raising funds for early stage startup founders. And in most cases, if the company is doing well, then it's a win-win situation for both founders as well as the investors. But the key word here is most cases. There can be exceptions to that as well, obviously.